Okay, well, thank you all for joining us in our 12K series tonight. I have the pleasure and the honor of interviewing Miss Tracie Horn. And so we are going to get started, but as you all know, if you're watching this later on the replay, we are still under this bonus run. So I feel like this series is really important, regardless if you're under a bonus run or not, because it really gives you kind of like some insight into how everybody got started, like what they did in the beginning. And right now, that push till the end of November is, I mean, I'm sure all of the 12K leaders who we've interviewed on this, and Tracie included, is going to give you a little bit of insight in how that differed from like what she currently does. So having said that, Tracie, why don't you just give us a little like background about you, why you became a promoter, how you came across Thrive, and that whole story, how you got to be here.
Okay. Well, I'm Tracie, and it's been probably a little over 5 years since I've been thriving. Ange actually became a promoter. I was like exhausted and all that, and she knew that, and she needed to hit a bonus. She came over and she said, "Hey, can you help me out?" I'm like, "Sure." Well, so I didn't even start out as a customer, right into a promoter, and I had no clue what I was doing. All she said was, "Take this and then share." That's what I did. And it's like I said, it's been over 5 years, and that I didn't know what to do in the beginning. I'm like, I don't know. I've never done this. I was never into the, marketing or anything. I'm not a salesy kind of person. But all she's told me, she's like, just share how you feel. That's what I did. And lo and behold, customers came, and then I'm here today, 5 years later.
Hi, everybody who's joining. Thank you for joining us. So you hadn't tried the products before?
Never even heard of the
product. Give us a little bit of your Thrive story then.
Well, I'm 47 years old. I'm a mom of 4. I'm constantly on the go.
Boys too.
I have 3 boys and a girl. My youngest is a girl. So,
crazy boy mom.
So I was exhausted. I was like, how you're always taking pictures of everybody else and you're always in the background. And that was my life. I was always in the background of everything because I didn't want to be out for everybody to see. I just didn't want to be involved in life. That's pretty much what it was. I just stay back in the corner and just let everybody just don't look at me, because I felt miserable and I slept all the time. I would quick little thing. I would get my kids on the bus and I go back to bed and I set my alarm for 2:50 in the afternoon to get up and get them off the bus. That was my day.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. I mean, I know Talita is on here, and that's very similar to her story as well. So you were a tired, exhausted mama.
Yep.
So when you started taking the products, what kind of change did you see and did others see in you?
I wasn't a day one thriver because I don't like to follow directions, but when I did follow directions, it was like night and day. Like I was I painted my house in like 2 weeks. Like my interior walls, they were white for years. And in 2 weeks, I had the energy to paint my house. So it's kind of like you're living your life in black and white, and then all of a sudden you actually paint the walls and now you're living in color.
That's a great way to describe it. I love that. So when Angie said, just tell people how you feel. So what did you tell people?
I had energy to get up in the morning. My kids liked me because my mood was so much better. I wasn't cranky and tired and sleeping all the time. I was involved in life. I was involved in my kids' life. I just felt, I can't even describe it. Like you felt like living your life instead of not like sitting back and watching everybody else. You want to participate. That's how I felt.
Instead of being like on the sidelines, you were like in,
right.
You were the VIP.
Well, I don't know about that,
but awesome. So that's amazing. I love that that explanation of, you know, life is like black and white before Thrive, and then after Thrive, all of a sudden the walls are painted, everything is colorful. Because I felt the same way. It was like I put on glasses for the first time. Like,
right.
Food started tasting better, but the colors and everything else were starting to become brighter. So I love that. So you're 5 years since you became a promoter and have been thriving. What's the one thing that you wish someone would have told you in the beginning that you didn't know then, but you know now?
Oh, you don't have to say you can't say this is how we like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's what we're, you know, even if you can't say the wrong thing. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And they're going to see that. And then even if they're like, well, I don't know about that, you already planted the idea in their mind. And then they get to thinking. And then they're like, well, maybe, you know, maybe I do need this.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to another person at the wrong time, because I don't think there's wrong people, but some people it's just not the right time at that time, but at some point it will be.
Yep.
Yes, Lori. Unmute yourself, hon.
You were on me for 2 years. You finally got me.
See? Yep. And Tracie, you knew Angie how long?
Oh, I work for her dad.
Thanks, Laz.
It's been like ever since I got out of high school in 1995. So I've knew her for a long time before she came over to me.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure she brought it up in the past before that day. Oh, no, really?
No, she just came over to my campsite. This is so funny. She came over to my campsite and she said, Tracie, you got to try this product. I go, what is it? It's going to give you energy. You're going to love it. If you can do it, that's great. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I guess you're an easier sale than most.
It's a strange thing because I'm a yes person. I'll help anybody out. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad she came over because my life wouldn't be the same without it.
Absolutely. And you guys still have campsites next to each other.
Absolutely.
Cool. So what advice would you give to a brand new promoter?
Brand new promoter. Never give up, and don't like, it's sometimes when you first start out, you're overwhelmed because you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. You're not alone. If you have a question, you ask somebody. We're here to help you. When I first started, I always wore my DFT visibly because that's a conversation starter. You wear it and they're like, what's that little thing? Well, let me tell you what it is. And you just give them a little bit and then they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll get back to you.
Awesome. And that, I mean, really, that's it. Sharing your story, right? Like, you know, I painted my house in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I lived with white walls for however many years, and then all of a sudden, I painted my house. And yes, our team has all of the tools to, you know, that you just plug and play, as I like to say. So now shift over to somebody who's been a promoter for a little bit, and they're running towards, like their 12K, their auto bonus. What is there different advice that you would give that person? Tell us a little bit about how you got there and what you learned along the way.
I would probably say you don't have to get to the finish line the next day. A little bit, just a little bit. And if it's not the 3 steps someone's interested in, it could be balance. It could be another product. It could be, all numbers add up. And when they're adding up, you're going to hit the bonus. So you could have balance, you could have rest. It just depends on the person. I know that the 3 steps are a base products, but there's a lot out there that people need and they don't even know it. And they might not say yes to the 3 steps, but they'll say yes to something.
Yeah, balance is always a good backup plan for
Yeah.
sure. So what was your journey from being, that first day that Angie came to the campsite to you getting your auto bonus?
Well, mine was a little ups and downs because I lost a team. I hit rock bottom, all my members left. And it was hard for me because I had the mindset of where, oh my gosh, here we go again. I'm down at the bottom. I'm not even going to do anything. But then you realize you're not starting over, because if you were starting over, you wouldn't be thriving. You want to help the people that you were already helped. You're just starting from where you left off, and you just got to build again. And you got to continue, because everybody's going to, people are going to drop off, but you got to keep adding.
Yeah, we're constant build mode. And, that's just a testament to, our team, because the leaders on the team, obviously Jen is at the top of, everybody on within our team. She's always one of the top enrollers. She's always one of, the top customer, I don't know what the word, it's not enroller, sign her up or register her. But yeah, that's because you're in a constant state. And I feel like when you're sharing your story, people at least I used to think I had to constantly change it up, because I didn't want people to hear me say the same thing over and over again. But people, you're going to reach new people every single day.
Right.
And the people that are hearing you over and over again are going to get that consistency from them, be like, oh, this chick isn't quitting like Lori 2 years later. This chick's not quitting, so I'm just going to say yes.
Yep.
And it's a consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost my team before I hit 12K.
So there you go. You can lose a team and never, you won't fail in this business if you don't stop, if you don't give up. The only way you're going to fail is if you give up. So even losing a team, you can still rebuild and rebound to 12K. So did you wait to do your whole the VIP auto bonus to get your car and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I'm waiting for that because I'm a numbers person as well, just like Angie's. And I want to make sure, because life happens, and maybe one month I'm shy a little bit and I'm not going to hit the 12K that month. And I'm like, I just want to make sure that I can handle whatever is thrown at me, and I can, and then come back next month, but that's the only thing that's holding me back is myself. Is that just the mind thing right there.
All right, well, maybe we can help you with that. Because to me, it's okay, well, those cars sitting out in the driveway is the encouragement to go do it.
I know. And it's all a mind game for me, and I just need to go and just do it in that way.
So can you just, because I don't think we've done this recently in the 12K series, would you mind just breaking down what what the 12K rank is and how you actually hit your auto bonus, like what you have to do to get there.
Oh,
You know.
oh.
Do you not know? I'll tell it if I put you on the spot,
Yeah,
'cause
go
that
ahead,
wasn't in the
because I'm like
questions.
running a blank.
So 12,000 in QV, so cumulative volume of everyone that's on your team. And that is broken down into 4 active legs. And pretty much like that's it. You either earn a $300 cash bonus or an $800 cash bonus if you have a qualifying vehicle. And we have a huge number of qualifying vehicles now that are available. And like when I started, I had, I didn't purchase the car because like I had the car and I hit the bonus, but it, you know, was for a year it qualified because it's they have to be at least 5 years new. So I had like a 2016 white Mercedes, you know, it's like, okay, black or white, and one of the, you know, one of the brands. But now like my, you know, like my husband has the Chevy pickup truck because it's an LTZ XYZ, whatever, like, you know, thing, whatever, you know, it's, but yeah, and I mean, now there's all kinds of different vehicles. It doesn't have to be like just your Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, you know, Range Rover thing. There's all kinds of stuff. Bronco, the new Bronco, which is really cool. But yeah, that's it. So like at $800 with the qualifying vehicle, I mean, that's more than enough to cover the payment and the insurance.
Right.
Most of the, you know, most of the time, depending on, you know, what you got going on, but it is for the ones that are sitting outside for me. So super cool and super doable, even if you lose your team, like Tracie said. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'll go back to my questions. So what is like a hot tip? What is working for you right now? Because right now we're all in the same boat running for these other bonuses outside of the, you know, the auto bonus, the fall bonuses. So what's working for you and your team right now?
Well, I have to implement this because I just thought of this today, and it's probably, you know, coming around circle because I heard it somewhere else. But when you're asking the question and they're coming back and they're just like, nah, not right now. And you're like, well, can I, you know, reach back with you in a couple weeks? And then they'll say, sure, you know, but within that couple weeks, you're dripping on your social media about the problem, like the problems that, you know, they're facing about, you know, I can't go to sleep. I can't, you know, I'm always feeling bloated or no energy. And you're just dripping on social media about, you know, how to solve that. And then when you loop back around and say, hey, you know, it's been a couple weeks. And then they're like, well, I saw that, you know, on social media that you were saying about you know, you sleep better, or you're using this product for something because you can go to sleep and not have to, because my mind races. And you just go to sleep. So those things seem to be working. So that's what I'm going to start implementing.
Cool. So mostly in you mentioned stories. So putting that kind of thing, product information in your stories, which yeah, I mean we coach.
Yeah.
We coach that a lot. So that's the kind of an easy, quick way to get that information out there. I also, if you know someone has a certain, you know, they're struggling with something specific, sharing from the Lavelle page, sharing stories in there to that individual is, you know, it's helpful as well. If they're looking for that third party validation, if somebody's got, you know, some kind of issue, for sure, if you search it on the Lavelle page, it'll pop up.
Right.
And you're really good about screenshotting that stuff. I've seen that on your stories where you share other people's stories in your story.
Right.
And I believe we also have Jen uploaded a couple of story slides to the Evo squad that are of other thrivers and with a little blurb under their picture of their story too.
And I know somewhere, I'm not sure where in the page, there's a list of thrivers on our team that had our stories published on the Lavelle fan page. That way it's kind of more personal than people that you don't know. But these are
And that is available to everybody if they submit it.
Yeah.
They just have to go and write their story up and submit their story with a picture.
right.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I haven't done that. But tell us about, because you hosted the Monday night story. So how are we doing that now?
We can do it either way. I know on Tuesday nights, there are the customer Zoom. Somebody goes in and shares a story, and then we have a little slideshow on just description of the 3 steps and how you can get it for free, and just a quick little 15-minute Zoom on that. If you want to share your story, sorry, I'm getting interrupted with one of my sons. If you want to share your story on Monday night, or if Monday night doesn't work for you, just let us know. We have the ability to do it through StreamYard. We can record it, and then we can just air it at that time. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you just want to go ahead and record it on your phone, you can send it to me, and we can share it that way.
And these are short. I mean, we're talking like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 5-10 minutes. It's very short, before, after, like, and now kind of thing, right?
Either you want to share your story, or you could be interviewed like we're doing tonight. So whatever is convenient for you guys. I know time changes because we're on continents and stuff. So we can make it work for everybody.
And that's a really good way to get practice, okay? Because sharing, like, your story is the only quote unquote sales tool that you need, really. You get good at sharing your story in a very short, succinct, delivery. It's going to be easier for you, and it's going to be more consumable for others. I mean, and doing it through Monday or Tuesday night stories is a great way to get practice at doing that. If you're nervous about going live, or whatever the case may be, I highly, highly encourage you to do it, and to do it often, because those stories do change.
Yeah, they're always revolving.
Right. Awesome. Cool. So anything else? We're getting close. I'm going to open up for questions. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, one thing on the stories, everybody's stories is their own. So it's all unique to you. Something in your story may resonate with somebody on someone else's team. So that's why we should like to share.
Laz wants to know if you're looking for volunteers for your sessions, for the stories.
Sure.
Always, I believe. I think she always is, right? Is the sign up still in the Evo squad for that?
I might have to update it, because we haven't had any requests to have it. But you can direct message me and we can set it up, no problem.
Awesome. Cool. Tash, you should get on and tell your story. Yes, sign me up for one of the story nights as well. I'm gonna go. I need to do that again. We haven't done that in a while.
Okay.
So I'm down. Everyone here should also get in and share. Lori's got a great story about her detox. She could absolutely 100% encourage you to share that. Cool. Awesome. So any questions does anyone have? Wilda says, sign me up.
Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of the page. There we go.
Any questions?
There's no questions, but I just want to add to Tracie's talking about the story, because one of the 200K leader last night, that's where she built her business. She doesn't direct message. She's just building on story and reels.
Telling her story.
Yeah, and posting on the stories. Like, I don't know if that's what it is, like the story, because we have the story on Facebook, in the story, but just
Telling your story in stories. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I encourage you to, her product post from yesterday to get out of town. Wow, Laz, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm happy to see that's working. Dang, I haven't had a post blow up like that. Like that in forever, but that's awesome. So going live in your story, like talking into your story, you know, is I think it grabs a lot, just like live is going to do better than a static image post on any platform. So going live in your story and just giving a little, you know, like as you're taking your products in the morning, that's a great way to kind of get it done.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Anything else?
His hair, my face, go talk on the story.
Yes. Yes, even if you're a hot mess express, talk on your stories.
Hot
Any
mess
last minute
express.
thoughts? Anyone? Hi, Christy. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. And